let's move on to this other thing because there's some cool mobile suits we mentioned that I want to bring up that we'll bring up in this next fun little thing here that I've got. And so
Definitely.
this segment is the top 5 most over-engineered mobile suits in the Universal Century. So, FYI, AI helped write this, so I usually have it add some quirkiness. Some of it doesn't make sense.
Is there like a badge that you have to put on the video? Like,
I do. I have to notate AI. I have to tell people get your tissues ready. I don't know what did that part mean, but anyway, the number 5 of the most over-engineered mobile suits is the MSN-02 Xeon. They call it the headless wonder of a Baoku, but I don't understand.
well, I guess it did lose its head.
Yeah, maybe that's what they're referring to because I was thinking legs. But why it's over-engineered? A Saikamu prototype that doesn't even have legs because they ran out of time, yet it's wired for full-body remote limb control. So, tech bloat, full Saikamu system, 10 megaparticle cannons, detachable head with independent operation. So I guess that's what they're referring to headless wonder because detachable head for independent operation. Why it's brilliant anyway, essentially a test bed for the Elmeth and the Neo Xeon line, a literal unfinished god. Okay. Tagline, half complete, double the over engineering. So maybe. Number 4, the unicorn, the walking psycho frame catastrophe. Why it's over engineered. A full-body psycho frame turns the entire suit into a psychic amplifier and possible WMD. Tech bloat, psycho field energy manipulation, NTD system, automatic reconfiguration, beam magnum that overheats itself. Why it's brilliant anyway, represents humanity's desperate attempt to weaponize new type potential. Built to communicate with God, but reports to Anaheim Electronics. that's
There's definitely some like political undertones to that. Yeah. Can we stop there for a second though? Because like that is something that didn't get explored in Universal Century that does in Witch from Mercury. Is like the idea of a full body Saikamu mobile suit. Nobody ever thought, wait a second, like because the whole thing in Witch from Mercury is the data storms can be overwhelming and it can like create this overload in people's brains. Nobody thought that like cramming more psycho frames into a mobile suit might potentially create like a psychic disruption.
That's why they have those. They need a narrative. That's why they have those things that well, actually, it's almost like it's repeated itself multiple times. So there's been these disaster scenarios, and like, oh well, let's just add more psycho frame. It's literally Well,
in case of emergency, break glass and add more psycho frames.
But that's funny because it makes me think that could be something we could calculate within the Universal Century. How much has a creator pushed something too far and it got themselves killed?
Oh man, how much time do you have?
I know, so that might be something I might have to look into. Okay, so that was Unicorn at number 4. Number 3, the RX-93 New Gundam, too smart for its own good. Why it's over-engineered, custom built by Amuro with an experimental miniaturized psycho frame crammed into an otherwise conventional MS. Tech bloat, fin funnels double as remote shields, flight system borders on mobile armor level, because the new Gundam has that flight system that makes it pretty good. Reactor barely fits the frame. That I'm not too familiar with, but why it's brilliant anyway. The result of Amuro's obsession with efficiency, an overachiever that saved the Earth. And the tagline is every part is a prototype, which, okay. Number 2, the Penelope. I think this is a good one. When engineers get paid by the panel line. That's pretty good. Why it's over-engineered. The entire armor is a modular flight system, the fixed flight unit, wrapped around a Gundam that's already excessive. Tech bloat. Independent Minovsky flight system, Saikamu weaponry, detachable armor, insane maintenance hours. Why it's brilliant anyway, a fusion of test data and chaos that paved the way for the Kasai Gundam, which is true. Tagline, if a transformer and a jet engine had a child. That's pretty good, AI. Good job. Okay, and here's the number 1 is the Banshee Norn. When you need more unicorn per unicorn. Why it's over-engineered. They took the unicorn, made it gold, added more weapons, another psycho frame resonance mode, and a psycho weapon controller. But that's not accurate, though, right?
Well, because it has the claw, right? The Banshee Norn in particular has the...
Yeah, so I wonder if it meant then the...
like the full armor?
Yeah, because I'm trying to think. Because I like the when you need more unicorn per unicorn because it gets pretty insane on its the VFin. But
It
anyway,
does.
tech bloat. Let's look at this: armed armor, VN, BS, DE shield, NTD overload, variable psychoframe reaction. I mean, I guess that's correct, but the gold thing, I don't. Why it's brilliant anyway. An unhinged mirror of its sibling, ultimate over design as a metaphor for control and chaos. Tagline: because one apocalyptic unicorn wasn't enough. So.
I mean, the Banshee is like the shadow to the unicorn Sonic the Hedgehog, right?
Yeah, it to where it like fails and they have to like build it back up to try to make it, and it just makes it look darker. Like I like that whole the shadow thing. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So you know what they're saying here is over designed. I would almost say the Penelope is a good example, just because the Kasai already shows that you could streamline that. And in the first battle,
Right.
as we saw in my video, the Kasai beat the Penelope.
And I'm not surprised that AI didn't pick this up, but it's like something like the Overon is a perfect example of over design
Oh,
because
okay, yeah, that's
in
one.
the same way as like the Penelope is a Gundam with a Gundam wrapped around it, the
Yeah,
Overon is a Gundam with the O wrapped around it. Like
that's okay. So that's a good one. Because there was other honorable mentions like the Nightingale. I mean, I have the high grade, and that thing's just over designed.
I love the tagline on that though. Too big to fit in its own story.
Yeah, that's pretty good. The Kshatriya, 4 binders, 24 funnels, and emotional baggage. The Neo Zeong, the literal definition of too much Gundam. So that's funny. So like when it
What
comes
would
to
be
that,
your ad?
what's that?
What would be your ad to this list?
I like the Penelope because to me, I feel like the Penelope, when they designed it, it was on purpose. The artist that designed it, he does designs like that are exaggerated. So I almost like that because not functionally, but design wise, it's like over, But um, I wonder. I would probably go to some advanced of Zeta suits. Especially when they
Oh,
have the modulation on it. Even
yeah.
the way if you watch my office tour video, the metal build, or no, the Metal Robot Spirits Hazel I had the option part set. It doesn't even look like a Hazel anymore because I have all these option parts on it to make it something else entirely.
Yeah, once you get to like the Queenly and
Yeah,
like that stuff, that's just
yeah, exactly. So that's what I think would be. Although I like that they brought up the Kshatriya because I do think even with the design of the binders, it's like they purposely made them look more like insect like or creature-esque.
and I mean the Queen Mantha looks very
That's
insectoid.
right. Yeah.
But it does feel like the Kshatriya is, hey, we saw your Queen Mantha. Let's just so the Queen Mantha has 2 chest cannons. The Kshatriya has 4. The Queen Mantha has
Oh, yeah.
2 wing binders. The Kshatriya has 4. It's like everything about the Kshatriya's design is, hey, I see you, Queen Mantha. Hold my beer. I'm gonna double it. Like,
That's a good point when we put it that way. And I guess it has that extra sheen of style and fashion because of the sleeves. I think that kind of
yeah,
helps.
the
And
sleeves do add a nice touch.
I have my Robot Spirits Kshatriya in reach, but due to trying to organize where I have the glass cabinet, I can't open the door unless I move stuff. So it's just I've got to find a reason to like pull out some of these bigger, more unwieldy Gundam collectibles I have and maybe do posing videos or something because I've already reviewed some of this stuff, but I want to have a reason to get them out.